Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we're going to start off on a positive note. We have to. I don't care because look, if it wasn't for this one happening that happened on the weekend, right, where Chelsea lost 4-1 to Newcastle, and I got a phone call live on the watch along, right, and you that were there saw from who? Saeed, yeah? Well, I'm going to return the favour. I'm not going to call him now, but because I know he's filming and whatnot, but I'm going to send the message out. What happened? So Saeed was giving it large, right? And look, we still got to play Manchester United next week, so we'll see what happens there. But I'm gonna flip it on Saeed here. I'm gonna say, Saeed, you said that you must. You said that you must, and you didn't must. In your own words, you didn't must. Man United are in the mud officially. It looks like they're out of the Champions League, and look. Some fans, for sure, non-Chelsea, and maybe even some Chelsea will be like, Younes, look, we're not in a position to talk. Stop talking. Stop mocking. I'm not mocking. But I'm not going to stop talking because I will rightfully say this, no matter how bad it gets for Chelsea, no matter, we could get relegated, yeah? It will always be that whenever we played in the Champions League, we always made it through the group stage. Yeah, that was a non-negotiable, standard necessity, straightforward procedure. It just always happened. No matter how bad we were, we found ourselves in the knockout stage, right? There wasn't a thing about getting knocked out in the group stage, never, or finishing bottom of the group. So Manchester United looking super inconsistent, very, very iffy, completely off in terms of Onana. What a shocking goalkeeper Onana is. I mean, unbelievable. But anyway, that's Manchester United. Let me know your thoughts down below on that calamity 3-3 draw at Galatasaray, which means that Manchester United now need to beat Bayern Munich and hope that Galatasaray Copenhagen finishes a draw. They're out. So, yeah, that's that. Now, before we get cracking in all the news that's happened today in and around Chelsea, I'm going to ask you guys to make sure you hit the subscribe button to be notified as well. Hit that notification bell. With all the uploads that drops, the preview for Chelsea versus Brighton is going to be dropping on Saturday as we play on Sunday. So make sure you are there for that. And without further ado, we're going to get cracking. Socials on screen and in the description. Let's start off with Robert Sanchez. He's decided to speak, right? We're going to go through this because I feel like there needs to be a point. 2 points, actually, that need to be made, right? Because I feel like people are going to appreciate what he's saying, but I'm going to read in between the lines and I'm going to pinpoint 2 things that I think are important and need to be said. So let's get into it. Robert Sanchez, on his career goals, I want to win the Champions League, win the World Cup, get Chelsea back to the top, win the Premier League, get the most clean sheets. I'm not saying I will get all of them, but that's what I will push for. And I want a 55-story mansion made out of gold, and I want to see pigs fly, you know? Now, no, I'm not going to go down that angle. The angle that I am going to go down, as I've said, 2 things, right? I preferred when players didn't speak. I preferred that time when players just didn't talk, you know, and they just got on with it on the pitch. Because even Nicholas Jackson today put out, I think it was an Instagram post or something, talking about never look in your rearview mirror because you're not going backwards. You got to look forwards. And I'm just like, I hate when players start posting those sort of things in the modern day. I hate it. If you are on top of that, look, Man City players can post whatever they want. Whatever they want. They can post whatever they want. Not a problem. Because they are doing what needs to be done on the pitch week in, week out, without fail. As a football club, they are operating as they should. We are not. So with Robert Sanchez's comments here, that I just thought, there's 2 things that I pinpointed. One was, I prefer when players just don't speak. Yeah, and do their talking on the pitch. Secondly, people are going to read that at face value and go, yeah, mentality, yeah. I'm going to say no. Not enough. Why? Because he said that he wants to win that, and he wants to win this, and he wants to win that. He wants to win the Champions League, the World Cup, get Chelsea back to the top, win the Premier League, all of that. Yeah, lovely, great. I'm not saying I will get all of them, but that's what I will push for. That's not good enough. If you're going to speak in this sort of way, you need to come out and say, I will win this and this and this and this, and I'll make sure of it. That's the mentality. Now, who's to say that, yes, it's going to happen, but in order for you to make something happen, you need to believe in yourself first. That's the foundation. That's where it begins. That's like me trying to go and get an A star in an exam. I say, I have to get that A star. I will get that A star. And then I start putting in the work. You best believe my chances are I'm going to get that A star. At best, at worst, I'll end up with an A. I will just miss it. Yeah? Because that can happen sometimes. That's life. But if I said I want an A star, I'm not saying I'll get it, right? But I'll try. Nah, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. That means that you don't 100% feel convinced in yourself that you're going to go and get it. And that is where it begins. It begins with the belief. You need to be obsessed. Where people look at you and go, no, you're crazy. You got no chance in that happening. But you within yourself go, no, it will happen. I will make sure it happens. You need to have that belief. That statement doesn't scream, I will go and get it. It screams that, no, we're going to give it a go. We'll try. Yeah, we'll see what happens. That's the vibe that I get from that. And that's just, mentality isn't high enough. It's at a level where people can maybe respect it. But it's not where it needs to be. That's where I'm looking at this team and thinking, man, up here, we're not there. We're not killers. We're not. We have to be. Do you get what I'm saying? Oh, man. In order for a club like Chelsea to succeed at the level that we are meant to be operating at, you need it. If you ain't got that, you're screwed. You're stuffed. You're stuffed. So the sooner these players realise it, the better. But I don't think they will, if I'm honest. And look, see, this is the thing. If I had complete belief that, we will. I'd be coming in and saying, yeah, we will. No, I'm not so sure, ref. I'm not so sure. So it is what it is. Let's move to other things, starting off with Pochettino. And I have to mention this and give you my thoughts on this. So check this out. All the talk behind the scenes at Chelsea is that they want to give Mauricio Pochettino time. This went along with some other journalists that started piling on everything after the loss, saying, nah, Chelsea want to pursue with Poch. They want to give him time. We heard this script before. The reality is, I'll be honest, if the next two games don't go the way that they're meant to go, well, season's over. We're not getting Champions League. And then what the board and the ownership had set as the requirement of we must get Champions League, right, is not going to happen. Well, at that point, there's going to be questions asked. We know where it's going. But I have to stress, with Pochettino, it's not just all on Poch. It's not all Pochettino here. Like I said when he was hired, right? Or before he was hired, I'm not so sure he's going to be that guy to take us to where we actually need to get to, yeah? But in order to bring us into that conversation of we're going to get into the top 4, Champions League, you'd think he would be that guy, yeah? You'd think. I thought, okay, that he should be able to do that. But respectfully, and we're discovering this team has not been set up to go and get top 4. It just hasn't. We don't have everything up here. The players haven't got what it takes up here in order to perceive week in, week out, show consistency, pick up results with enough consistency to get into the top 4. We haven't got it. So Poch, you could get Sir Alex Ferguson, you could get Prime Mourinho in, right? And with this, it would still probably be a little bit too much. It seems like we just have been set up to fail. We're going to get to the transfers and all of that in a sec. But it's bonkers when you think about it. Because, there are things with Pochettino that, yes, he absolutely has to claim responsibility for. And we are asking questions as of the last few days as to whether he really is holding the control. Did he hold the power like he should, like we expect him to? We're not so sure now. So we'll wait and see what happens in the forthcoming games. We better win on Sunday. That's just, I have to say that. We better win on Sunday. If we don't beat Brighton and at most if we lose, nah. At that point, you're going to see what happens. So, look, we'll get to that when it comes, and I will mention something later on in the video that I think is going to be key and important. But let's move to transfers. let's move to what this club is trying to do in terms of direction, right? Where are we aiming? Well, let's get right into it. Here's the latest on our centre-backs. Keep an eye on Chelsea entering the race for a player like Marc Guehi. Mauricio Pochettino would ideally like some more Premier League experience. What? I don't know where to start. Personally, is Marc Guehi a bad central defender? No. Marc Guehi left Chelsea because he wanted first-team football and he wasn't going to get it ahead of central defenders like Rudiger, if you remember, right? Okay. He's gone to Palace. He's played, right? Has he played well? Yeah, I would say he's not been bad. But we are in a position right now, sitting in 10th, where we need, like I've said, especially the last few days. The last few days, I have emphasized that, look, we need to change the strategy. We need to, for now, the short-term strategy needs to shift immediately. We need to get players in that are going to come and do the job now, immediately. Hit the ground running from now with a winning mentality. We need winners that are going to come in with that expertise, with that know-how, with that, what's the word, you know? They don't need to have had to win every single trophy that there is on the planet, but they need to have had some experience in terms of pedigree. That's the word, pedigree. We need pedigree, yeah? Respectfully, Marc Guehi is not going to be pedigree. He's just not. And it doesn't exactly look good for us, does it? Like he's the only central defender in the world. And we've got centre-backs, if we're being completely honest. Now, you can question them. Absolutely, and we can get to that conversation. But if you're going to replace, if you're going to go and get someone, you don't get someone that is probably operating at the same level as the centre-backs we've got now. You just don't. You just don't. I don't understand. Plus, on top of that, he's an ex-Chelsea player who we sold 5 years ago, who we're now going to pay more money for, even though the ownerships are different. But we're actually going to do that. Like, I don't know what to say. The strategy is bonkers. If we're going to talk about strategy, and let me know, do you think Marc Guehi is good enough? As I've said, I think Marc Guehi is good. Don't get me wrong. Good central defender. But the central defenders that we have now are good. They're not bad. What we have now isn't bad. Badiashile is not a bad centre-back. Disasi's not a bad centre-back. Levi Cole is not a bad centre-back. Thiago Silva, sure as hell, isn't a bad centre-back. But right now, what we have, is it good enough? Is it elite? No, it's not. And those players are probably going to take some time, which right now seems like we are shutting ourselves in and we don't have it. We don't have the time. Because there's going to be severe consequences. If we just think, we have time, we'll wait 3 years. No, we can't. And that will be known very soon. Especially if we finish mid-table and finish out our European spots again for a second year. The ownerships will feel that financially. So that's that. But we need some sort of elite level to come in now before it gets impossible. At least now there still is some sort of a belief perhaps that, yeah, maybe Chelsea can revive. So in terms of trying to get players, it's not the most difficult thing. You finish mid-table 2 seasons in a row, you best believe the elite players are definitely not coming at that point. So you better go and get them now. This is why there has to be an urgency. You better go and get them now, right? This January, go and do what you got to do. Because, and God forbid, if we end up with a transfer ban or charges or anything that happens afterwards, then we're screwed. But if we don't fix up, then it's going to get even harder to get top players in unless you pay them crazy money. Which right now, the ownerships don't want to do. So we got to get our act together. Now, talking about getting our act together, we've got a loan situation that's happened today as of 2 players. So let's get into it. Diogo Moreira could be a prime candidate for having his loan cancelled, having played just 75 minutes for Lyon this season, but that would cost Chelsea their sizable £2.5 million loan fee. I'm going to add this on top. Andrey Santos is expected to be recalled by Chelsea from his Nottingham Forest loan spell in January, but regulations will limit his next move. They can break the loan arrangement should Santos fail to reach a certain number of appearances by January. On top of that, it says, Chelsea will recall Andrey Santos. Strasbourg are interested. like I said, strategy all over the place, it seems. We, respectfully, when it came to loan deals, we should be doing proper due diligence and negotiating that we need him to play. We need to have assurances. I need it on paper, right? That he's going to play. If not, don't do the loan. If you're not going to use him, we're not interested in this loan. Thank you very much. The club needed to have got absolute assurances, certainty that there was going to be playing time. Andrey Santos has been abandoned at Nottingham Forest, not played, so we've been screwed there. Moreira, that deal was done very late in the window, if you remember. We sent him off to Lyon. Lyon have collapsed and he's not been used. He's played 75 minutes. That is shocking. We need these players to play. And at the time, if you remember, Strasbourg was an option. We didn't do that. Now for Andrey Santos, Strasbourg are interested. Well, of course they are, because it's the same owners. You know? So, look, respectfully, I think Strasbourg will use him in the same way that Angelo Gabriel has been playing. Send these players to Strasbourg, please. We're in the same umbrella, the same group. Well, fantastic. Let them develop there. I'd rather they play there than not play somewhere else that we must have thought they would end up playing. They've not got any minutes. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. So, there's that. Now, I'm going to show you one thing. And this isn't going to sit well. Because I know some people are going to look at this and go, oh, bloody, this is crazy. It is crazy. But we have to understand the situation that we're in now. We have to understand it. Because there's been too many false, I would say, false optimistic moments. Where, and myself included, this is why now I'm going, no, I'm not getting fooled again. I'm not getting fooled again. No. You can't mess me about too many times. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. I need to know for a fact that, okay, things are moving in the right direction. Up until that point, I will have a question mark. But don't really need a question mark when you see something like this. Check this out. Our points per Premier League game for the year of 2023, as it comes to an end, we are approaching December. This is where we are. We get on average 1 point a game, including, obviously that's including all the games of this season. It's the whole of 2023 from January up until now. If this does not scream concern, right, nothing will. Nothing will. Because the consequences are going to be that if this just keeps going the way it is, right, and there isn't a drastic upturn in results and performance and mentality and discipline and all of those factors that we've been illustrating, if there's not a sudden upturn, right, a sudden uptrend, a sudden uptake, whatever up you want to mention, bring it to the table. If there isn't that, we are going to miss out, once again, European football, and it's looking like it's going that way right now. We'll see what happens on Sunday and against United, because that could be the nail in the coffin. And then you miss out on European football 2 years in a row, mid-table again, you go into a third year. It's just going to be the same cycle. Financially, we'll get hit. The players that we'll try to attract won't come. It will continue to have a domino knock-on effect. It just will. That is just how it is. We have to get a grip. The strategy needs to change immediately. Immediately. From these owners, from the board, from Poch. It all needs to shift in order for the players to understand and switch on. Because it's not going to come from them themselves. Especially at the age and levels that they are at. They need guidance, but they ain't got it. They ain't got it in the team. And right now, they're looking at Poch. Poch needs to set an example, but the club needs to set an example. They just have to. People in Chelsea need to become more ruthless, more about business, more serious, less laughing. We got to knuckle down. This is deep. This is serious. No joking about now. And on top of that, set that trend at every level of the club and let that become the culture. On top of that, that takes us till January. Once we get to January, we need to fish around for some pedigree that we can get in now to bring us back onto track. That is what we need to do. 2 or 3 players that can bring us back onto track and show these young players in the squad how it's done. Set the example. We have to do that. If we don't do that, we are in trouble. Because this is just going to keep going. So Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one, as we are going to start approaching the Premier League weekend and we see how it's all going to go down. But let's wait and see. Let me know your thoughts on everything that I've discussed in this video down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I have uploaded. Smash the like button if you have enjoyed this. And I will see all of you tomorrow. So thank you all so much. See you tomorrow, people. Have a good one. Take care. And peace.